Hey guys, this is Christina with craftmuse, and today we're going to be making a Loomigurumi giraffe. And this is what he looks like here. Little baby giraffe. I think he's really cute. I'll have a band count in the description box below. Mine that I'm going to be making today is going to be different colors. For the body color, I'm using white. And then I'll do like using the pastel bands for the spots, and then I'll use the mint green for his, where I use the skin tone on him. So, but for this giraffe, I used an off-brand band. I think I got them at, where did I get it? Joann's. They have this coffee color, I guess, maybe, I don't know what it's called. And then I used the burgundy brown for his spots, and then the skin tone for his snout and his horns and his hooves. So you can use whatever color you want. Obviously I'm doing white and pastel. So let's see. So you'll need your bands for this, and then you'll also need some polyfill. I'm also using two safety eyes. I'm using the 8mm safety eyes. You should be able to pick those up at most craft stores. I know Michael's doesn't sell them, at least not that I know of, but I got mine off of Etsy, but I did see that they had some at Joann's the other day too. So you can use those, or you can use beads or buttons or bands, whatever you want to use. Let's see, you'll also need your hook, a crochet hook or rainbow loom hook, and I think that's about it. So we'll get started. The first thing I want to have you guys make are the little spots, and the sizes that you decide to make them are totally up to you, and where you place the spots and how many you put on. I think I put 7 on this one, so I'll probably do about the same number, but I've already got 6 made. Just basically what you want to do is start with your magic ring. So I'm going to make one more. So I'm going to start with a magic ring. So I've got my band wrapped around my hook twice. And this is totally up to you, how big, how small you make it. I think my smallest is like a magic ring of 6, so I at least want to start with that. So I'm going to make this one a little bigger. So I'll put 6 stitches in my magic ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. And then 6. And so if you want to make your spots bigger than this, I don't know if you can really tell here, but I've kind of like made them off shape from a circle just because giraffes have different shaped spots. So this is where it's totally up to you to where how you want the shape to be. So for some of them I just went into the first stitch and did like an increase, so that's what I'm going to do here. I'll just do an increase in my first stitch. So there's 1, and here's 2, and then I can do an increase in the second stitch. There's 1, there's 2, and then I think that's as large as I want it to be, so I'll go into my next stitch over and tie off. So just bring a band through all the loops on your hook and do a slip knot, and then what you want to do is go on the other side into a stitch across from that and make a slip knot on that side as well. And then give it a little stretch just so it lays flat on your giraffe when we put it on. So I've got 7 here. Make as many as you want, as little as you want. Different shapes or different sizes. So if you want to pause the video and go ahead and make your spots, and then come back when you're finished with that. Okay, so the next thing I want to make is the snout, and I'm going to be using the mint green for that. So let's start with the snout. We're going to make a magic ring with 6 stitches in it. So I'll wrap my band around twice on my hook. Pull up my first band, or my capping band, and put my bands back on my hook. I'll slide this loop through this one, go back in through my capping band, and through my capping band only, bringing that loop back onto your hook, and so you have 3, and you want this loop to go under these 2, and you're going to continue that for 4 more. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should have 6 stitches on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next thing that we want to do is do a single crochet followed by an increase. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, till we have 9 stitches in our round. If you have a stitch marker, you can mark off this band here. I'm just going to leave it. So let's start with our single crochet. So there's 1. Our next one will be an increase. There's 1 and 2. Our next stitch will be a single crochet. Next stitch is an increase. So 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Our next stitch over will be a single crochet. And then our last stitch will be an increase. Oops. There's 1 and 2. So now you should have 9 stitches. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now what you want to do is just go into the first stitch over, the next stitch over, and grab another band and pull it through all of the loops and make a slip knot. Give it a little stretch. So now for this we want to add the little nostrils, and I just took, I think I'm going to use brown again. I used brown on my other one. This is the brown from the Skin Tone pack. So I'm just going to go, you can see your magic ring here in the center. So I'm going to go through there's 2 holes right next to it on each side. I'm going to go through those holes and bring my band through. So I'll take 1 brown band, bring through one end, not too much because you don't want to pull the whole band, and then go down to the next hole. Yeah. The one right underneath it, and bring that down. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'll grab my band, go up to the top hole, bring through one end, then go right beneath it and grab that other end, bring that through. So now you've got these loose loops here. I'm just going to put my hook through one of the loops, bring through one loop, go through this next loop over here, bring that through, and then this one here, bring that through, and then I'll go through a couple loops on the inside of the snout, like that, and then just tie off with a mint or whatever color you're using, and just make a slip knot. So we've got our little snout, and we can set that aside. So let's start working on the legs of the giraffe. That way we can get those out of the way. Get these out of the way. Oh, actually I do need some of these. So you're going to need to make 4 of these, obviously, because giraffes have 4 legs. They're all 4 the same. This is what it looks like here. So I'll show you how to make that. So we start off with the magic ring, of course, with 6 stitches in it. So I just had like a major disaster during this video. Hopefully I can cut it out so you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. But okay, so to start off with the legs, the first thing we want to make is the hooves. So I'm using my mint green. Use whatever color you want to use for the hooves. We're going to start with the magic ring. So I'm going to wrap around my band twice around my hook to make 3 loops. I'm going to pull up a band through my capping band. We want to make 6 stitches. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to put my C-clip in as my stitch holder, or stitch marker. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, just like we did with the snout, is we want to do a single crochet followed by an increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, so that we end up with 9 stitches. So I'll do my single crochet in the first stitch. There's 1. My next stitch will be 2 single crochets. So there's 1 and 2. My next stitch will be a single. There's 1. My next stitch will be 2 singles. There's 1. 2. My next stitch will be a single. And then my last stitch will be 2 single crochets. So there's 1 and then 2. And now we should have 9 stitches around. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now I'll put my C-clip back in there. And now what we want to do is a decrease. No, wait. We want to do a single crochet followed by a decrease. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet, and end with a decrease so that we have 6 stitches. So I'll go into my first stitch and do my single crochet. And then my next 2 stitches is going to be where my decrease is. So I'll put my hook through the first loop of my next stitch, and then through the second loop of the stitch over. So I have that on my hook. I'll take up a band and bring them through these 2 stitches here. Put the other side back onto my hook. So now I have 3, and then we'll just do a crochet. And then we want to do a single crochet in the next stitch, and then a decrease, a single crochet, and then we'll end with a decrease. Put your stitch marker back in. And now what we want to do is switch to the body color, whatever color you're using for the body of the giraffe. I'm using white, which is why I have this green background, just because it's hard to see white on white. Okay, so basically what we want to do is single crochet all the way around in the 6 stitches for a total of 8 rounds. So I'll do the first one with you, and then you can do the next 7. Pause the video and do the last 7. And make sure you keep count because it's easy to lose track. So go in through my first stitch and do a single crochet. Go in through my next stitch, do my crochet, my next stitch. Now, when you're crocheting in small areas like this, it can be hard to see where your stitches are. So if you need to pull it apart just to be able to tell, that's probably the easiest way to do that. Because it can be really easy to miss a stitch. So then after that first round, you should still have 6 stitches. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I've done 1 row, and now I need to do 7 more of the same thing. So go ahead and pause the video and then meet me back here when you're finished with that. Alright, so I finished my 8 rounds total of the white, and this is what you should have now. So to fasten this off, I'm just going to go into the next stitch over and tie a slip knot. So I'll bring my band through both of those loops and slip knot that. So you can just set these legs aside. Again, you'll need to make 4 of these. You know, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but he needs his legs, so just go ahead and set those aside. We won't need those till the very end of the tutorial anyway. So okay, so now we can start on the head. So how this goes is the head is separate, and then we actually stitch into the head to start the neck and the body, and then so the only things that we really have to attach to him are his ears, his snout, his horns, and his legs. So actually let's do his ears real quick because we're gonna need to attach those soon into the head. So grab your body color and an inner ear color. You'll just need 1 for each ear. So basically for the ear is just a magic ring with 6 stitches in it. So I pulled up 1 band, and here's my second. Here's my third. Here's my fourth. Oops, that was a green band. Here's my fourth. My fifth. And my sixth. So you should have 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then go into the next band over, the next stitch over, and tie a slip knot. Okay, so we want to add our inner ear, so I'm just going to take the inner ear color and I'm going to wrap it around my hook 3 times. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then I'll grab my ear color and just slide that capping band onto my white band or whatever color you're using. Take that off of my hook, making sure it's centered. Can't really tell the difference between these colors. I should probably use pink, but okay, so take your magic ring and then place your capping band thingy here, your inner ear. Go through, so you have like this closing off band here. Go through the loop on one side and pull down one of those ends from your inner ear. And then go on the other side and pull down one of those loops. Give it a little stretch because we will use these to attach the ears to the head as well as this band here. So there's one, set that aside, and then we'll make another one. So again, we're just doing the magic ring of 6. I don't know why I just don't do it all with my left hand, because then I don't know, I always switch it over after I put my capping band on. Whoops. So there's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I'll go through the first stitch over and do a slip knot. Okay, and then I'll take my inner ear color, wrap around 3 times on my hook, take an ear color band and pull this inner ear color over, center it, and I'll take my magic ring, stick that out front of the hole, go through the first stitch over on this side and pull this band through. Then I'll go through the other stitch on the other side and pull this band through. Stretch it a little bit. And then set that aside for now. So we've got our snout and our ears ready to attach. Let's also make, now we'll wait till do the horns later. Okay, so yes, let's now start with the head. Okay, so again, I'm using white, and again, I'm starting off with a magic ring with 6 stitches in it. So row 1 will be our magic ring of 6. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, here's 4, here's 5, and here's 6. Just count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick our C-clip in. So our next row around for row 2 is going to be an increase in each stitch all the way around, so that we end up with 12. So I'll go into my first stitch and put 2 single crochets in that one. So there's 1, going back in that same stitch, there's 2, Now I'm going to repeat the same thing in the next stitch over. So there's one, going back in through that stitch, there's two, next stitch over, the same thing, there's one, and here's two, repeating in the next stitch, one and two, next stitch, 2 single crochets, one, two, and then I'll just take out my C-clip and put 2 single crochets in the last stitch. There's one and here's two. Okay, so for row 3, we want to go around in these 12 stitches doing a single crochet. So single crochet in each stitch around. So there's one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then here's 12. Take your C-clip out and replace it back up there. Now what we want to do is increase to 18 stitches. So for row 4, we'll do a single crochet followed by an increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and we'll do that pattern all the way around so that we end up with 18 stitches. So my first stitch will be a single. My next stitch over will be 2 single crochets. So there's one, and then I'm going back in the same stitch and doing another one. There's 2. My next stitch over will be a single. There's 1. My next stitch over will be 2 singles. There's 1 and 2. My next stitch over will be a single. There's 1. My next stitch over will be 2 singles. 1 and 2. Next stitch over, a single. 1. Next stitch, 2 singles. 1, 2. Next stitch over will be a single. 1. Next stitch over will be 2 singles. So there's 1 and 2. Our next stitch will be a single, 1, and then we'll end with 2 in our last stitch. So there's 1 and then there's 2. So now you should have 18 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Put your stitch marker back onto your band. And so for now, we're on row 5, and what we want to do is just single crochet all the way around in the 18 stitches. So just single crochets. so that we still end up with 18. And here's my last stitch for this round. Alright, so I'll stick my C-clip back in the band on my hook. And now for row, let's see what row are we on. For row 6, we're going to be increasing again so that we have 24 stitches. And so we need to do a single crochet in one stitch, a single crochet in the next stitch, and then an increase in the next stitch. So it'll be single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and this will give us 24 stitches. So let's start with that. So we'll start with our single crochet in the first stitch, and then our next stitch will be a single as well. Our next stitch over will be our increase. So there's one, and then I need one more in that stitch. Okay, now let's go back to our single crochets. So there's one single, and then to our next stitch, be single. And then our next stitch will have 2 single crochets in it. So there's one, and there's 2. Back to our single crochets. So there's one, go into your next stitch and do another single. Two. Okay, our next stitch will be an increase. So there's one, and there's 2. Our next stitch will be a single, another single, and our next stitch over. Our next stitch over will be an increase. So there's one, I'll go back into that same stitch, put another one in there. Now we'll go back to our single crochets. So there's one, going to my next stitch, I'll do a single, then an increase. Back to singles. So there's one, there's 2, and then I'll end with an increase in my last stitch. 1 and 2. So now we have 24 stitches in our round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, now for row 7, we just want to go all the way around in the 24 stitches with single crochets. So we want to stay at 24 stitches. Oops. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3. So initially I wanted this giraffe to be standing up instead of sitting down, but giraffes' legs are really skinny, and so I had to make them small, and they're not stuffed, so I didn't really think that they could support the weight of the body and the head, so I just made them like sprawled out, kind of like his first learning how to walk or something. But if you guys can figure out a way to make him stand, that would be cool. I think maybe if you added some wire in there, it might help. Or even something to like weigh down the legs. Okay, so I just finished that round. Okay, so for row 8, what we want to do is start decreasing. So I'm going to do, the pattern is going to be single crochet, followed by a decrease, single crochet, decrease. So we're going to do that all the way around for the whole thing so that we end up with 18 stitches. So let's start out with our first single crochet. Then we'll go on to our next stitch with a single. Okay, now I'll do my decrease. So I'll pick up the top loop of the next stitch and then the top loop of the next stitch over. Pull my band through these 2 loops only, reclaim, and then crochet. So we're going back to our single crochets. So there's 1, and then our next stitch over is a single. Okay, now we're going to do another decrease. Okay, going back to our single crochets. Just 1. There's another one, and now let's do our decrease. Single crochets. 1, 2, and a decrease. Single crochets. 1, 2, then a decrease. Single crochets. So there's 1, 2, and then we'll end with a decrease. Alright, Alright, so we should have 18 stitches now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, for row 9, we just want to do single crochets around in the 18 stitches. Okay, so just single crochets all the way around. Alright, so I'm on my last stitch here. Now before we continue on, let's start adding our facial features because we're only going to decrease more from here. So go into your first stitch over and let's temporarily tie off. So I'll just grab a band and pull them through all of the loops and just slip knot for now. Just because I don't trust my C-clip to hold that, so. Alright. So this is what it should look like now. Kind of like points down this way. This is the snout. This here, where we started. And then we'll put our eyes here somewhere. And then our ears and our horns we'll add on there as well. So the first thing that we want to add to the giraffe's face is the snout. So take your face and try and find that center where we first started the face. So if you look at it like this, have the open side down, you can see the magic circle right here. So this is our center, and that's where we first began the design. So we want to try and line this magic circle of the snout with this magic circle so that it will stay centered. So like that. And then what I've done is just I added a slip knot, another mint green band, so whatever color your snout is, add another band to it, and you can even add another one if you would rather deal with like a longer length, because it does get a little bit short towards the end as we go around, as we stitch around this. So if you feel more comfortable having a longer length, then add another slip knotted band to this. So okay, so let me line that up again. And as you're stitching around, you want to make sure you kind of hold this snout in place. That way it won't, because if you don't hold it in place while you're doing it, it will shift to the side, or it'll just end up being uneven. And so just try to get it held down. I know it's hard, but okay. So the first thing I want to do after I've got it in place is my tying off band is on the outside of my face, so I'm going to go on the inside through the head and find a hole that is right near my tying off band and bring that down through. And with my other hand, I'm holding on to the snout. I'm going to turn it a little bit. After each stitch, you kind of want to make sure it's still in place. Okay, so now our tying off band is on the inside of the face, so we want to go through the next stitch over. I'm just going to go through the bottom loop, and then I'll go through the next hole that is right near that loop and grab my tying off band. And pull that through. Okay, so now my tying off band is on the outside, so I want to bring it down. So I will go in through the inside of my face, come out of a hole that's near my next stitch over, and go up through just the first loop right there. And then I'll pull the tying band through. Just pull it a little bit. Now take a look at your snout and make sure that your nostrils are still facing up and not off to the side. Okay, so now our tying off band is on the inside, so we want to bring it up. So I'll go in through this next stitch over, the bottom loop only, and in through a hole in the face, and then grab my tying off band and bring it up through. Give it a little tug. Now I'm going to bring the tying off band down, so I'm going to go in through the hole from the inside of the face and then come out of the bottom loop of the next stitch over, grab my tying off band and bring it through. Okay, so we're just going to continue doing that all the way around. And if you are running out of length, you can still add another slip knotted band to yours. So I think I might just do that right now. So if you want to do that, just stick your hook through your band that's attached to your giraffe, and then bring up another band. Put both ends on your hook and then do a slip knot, just to give you a little more length. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is bring up my tying off band. So I'm going into the next stitch over, the bottom loop only, going into a hole in the face. Now I want to bring it down. Just go as slow as you need to. You don't have to rush. If you need to pause, if you know how to stitch it on, then go ahead and pause, just so that, because I know if you go fast, it might end up being crooked. Okay. So now I'm going to go up through the face. Oh no, wait, I'm going to go down. So I want to pull this over just a little bit, then I'll continue. Okay, now I want to go down. I'm going to try and make this giraffe a little neater than my test giraffe. Hopefully it turns out okay. Okay, so I think this is my last stitch. Before you tie it off, just take a look at it and make sure it's straight and it's the way you want it. Okay, so then once you've gone through your last stitch, you're going to go in through the inside of your head. And we'll just come in through the center and grab this down. I'll fold his head inside out. And then I'll pick up the rest of my tying off band here. I'm just going to bring it through one of these here. So I just brought it through a band that was straight across from that one. And then I'm going to go over here and kind of find a set of bands that are nearby in the face. On the inside, don't tie off on the outside. And then I'll take my white band, or the color of your giraffe, and tie a slip knot. Okay. So now we can add the eyes onto his face. So as I said in the beginning, I'm going to use the safety eyes, but I will show you how to use beads, and then if you're using bands, you would do them the same way as you would do the beads. So let me grab a pony bead real quick. So I would just take the color of my giraffe and stick it through the hole in the center, just like that. And then I'd find a spot where I want to place the eye. So let's say I wanted to put it right here. So I wanted this to be right there. So I'd lay my bead right where I want it to be, and then go up through a hole that's right next to it and pull down one side of the band, but you need to hold on to this side as well so it doesn't come all the way through. So I'm bringing that down, and I've got my band still on my hook. Now I'm going to go where this other band is. Maybe it doesn't fall out. Hold on, let me try that again. Okay, so here's one side. Here's the other side. So let's say that's where you want to put it. Then I would just go on the inside. Hold on, I just have my hook through one of these stitches. Okay, so I've got these two loose bands. I'm just going to bring this one underneath this one, just like that. And then I just find a close by stitch, a couple of stitches in the inside of the face, and tie off with like we did with the snout. So just bring a single body colored band through all of these loops and tie a slip knot. And then if you were to use the bands, all you would do is use either 1 or 2 bands, wrap them around your hook 3 or 4 times, slide them onto your body colored band, and then place them on the face as you would the bead. So I'm going to take this off. So as I said in the beginning, the ones I am using are the 8mm safety eyes. And I've already got the backing on because I messed up earlier, so. But it will still work, so I'll just find where you want your top of your head to be. So I'm going to use this side, and then I'll just stick my eye through. And then you kind of want to try to make it directly across from that one. I don't know if I like them there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put them a little bit lower. So I like them to go, like if you put your finger or your hook on the top of the snout, I want them to kind of line up with the top of the snout instead of be above the snout. That's how I did my other one. And I think that I liked the way that looked better than this one. So I'll probably just go maybe 1 stitch over from the snout, the top of the snout. And take your time when you do this too, because once you close them up and stuff them, your eyes are stuck there, so just make sure it's where you want it for sure. Don't mind me. Just go ahead and put in your eyes while I put in mine. Sorry, I just have to get this right. If you've already got your eyes in, then just fast forward to the next part. It's like, I can't, it just doesn't look even to me. Alright, so I've got my eyes in. Now I am going to, I'm actually going to go around a little bit more before I actually put the ears on, because I want to put them on back here a little bit more. So let's take out your temporary tying band if you put one in there, and then go into your last, where you last left off. Grab your C-clip or your stitch marker. Okay, let's see, we ended at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So we did our single crochet around. Okay, so now what we want to do is, we're on row 10. We want to do a single crochet followed by a decrease. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease. So let's do that. So I'll do that all the way around so that we end up with 12 stitches. So I'm going to do my single crochet and then my decrease. I'm going to go back to my single crochet and then my decrease. Single crochet, and then a decrease, single, decrease, a single, a decrease, a single, and then we'll end with a decrease. Alright, so we should have 12 stitches now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now what I want to do is a single crochet all the way around in the 12 stitches so that we still have 12. So there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'll take my C-clip out and do my single crochet in the last stitch. 12. Now I'm going to temporarily fasten off again so I can add my ears and my horns. Okay, so let's get our ears. And you should still have the 3 loops. So you have your tying off band and then the 2 from the band from your center of the ear. So just find a spot where you want to put it. I'm going to put mine a little bit further. I don't know if you can tell, but you can kind of see where we started our decrease. It's like more, I don't know, if you fold it like this, this is our last stitch around, I think, from the 18, and this is where we start our decrease. I'm actually going to stick my ear like right along that area, and I'm going to kind of center it with the eye on each side so that they end up, actually I'm going to put them like this. So once you find the spot that you want to put them, just kind of lay them down where you want it. And then take your hook and go through the back and pull down the center band. You can take that one off your hook. Now go back in, grabbing a band on the other side, one side, and keep it on your hook. So I'll have that band on my hook. And then on the other side, I'll come around and grab this other one. And I'll bring that through. Okay, so I have 2 loops on my hook. Get your tying off band, the longer one, and bring it through both of these loops here. Just like that. Look at it before you tie it off. If it's where you want it, then like usual, go in through the inside of the face, find 2 inner bands, and then pull up a body color band and slip knot it. Okay, so there's one ear. I'm going to add the other ear. So place it where you want it to be. Grab your center band first. Just seeing where this, what row this one was on. Go in through your head and then grab that center band down. I think that one's too far back. I don't know, I can't tell. No, I think that's right. Okay, take that off of your hook, the center band, just leave it dangling there for now. Go in through another hole and grab your other end and keep that end on your hook. And then come around, grab the other end that's loose, bring that through. So you should have your 2 loops on your hook. Now grab your center band. Where'd it go? And bring it through these 2 loops here. And then find a spot to tie off. this one's a little bit further back. Okay, so the next thing we need to attach are our horns, and we need to make them first. So I'm using the mint green for the little ball thingies on the horn. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but so I'll take 3 of whatever color you want to use. I'll stick them on my hook, wrap around once. Whoops. Let's try that again. Wrap around once and then again. So twice I wrapped around. And then I'll take a white or whatever body color you have. I'll double loop it. Actually, no, I need 2. So take 2 and double loop those. And pull that band into the center. And put the other end onto your hook. Try to center it as much as you can. Grab another 2, double loop them, pull this one onto the band, put the loose end on the hook, and then we'll take one more set of 2, double looped. I'll pull these over on there. So I'm just going to push this down a little bit because I want to make another one. So I'll grab 3 more of the color that you want to use for the ball part. And wrap them around once and then twice. Take your 2 body colored bands, double loop them, pull this onto there. Center it. And put the other side back on. Grab another 2, double loop, and slide on. And one more, 2, double looped, slide on. So just like that. Now let's take 2 single bands of the body color and let's do a slip knot. Take your band, put it on the hook, and then slide these. They all wanna my goodness, why am I having such a hard time tonight? Alright, so just center them. So that's what you have, and then I'm just going to place them in between my ears. So just go in through a hole in the head, pull down one end, go on the other side, pull down the other end, so if it's centered the way you want it, then just tie those 2 loose ends into a knot. I have so many like bands in here, I don't know which one's which anymore. Okay, there it is. So just take those and tie them in a knot. Just like that. And then we just need to stuff his face because we're going to start closing him up, his face. So just take a little bit at a time. Kind of want to push his nose out a little bit. Okay, so once you've got him stuffed as you like, then let's work on closing him up, which all we need to do is decrease all the way around in the 12 stitches so that we end up with 6. So find your temporary tying off band and take that out. And then go back into your last loop. Alright, so we're going to do a total of 6 decreases. So here's my first one. I'm going to do number 2. Do number 3. Do number 4. Do number 5. And then one last one. Okay, so I should have 6 stitches left. With this band here, I'm going to slip knot another band to that. So I'll just pull it through, put the other end on my hook, and then pull this loop through this one to make a slip knot. Okay, so now what we want to do is bring this tying off band through the top loops only of our 6 stitches. And it works if you can only get 5. It will still close it up, even 4. So I'm just going in through the top loop only of each of my stitches and bringing it through. And I'll just do that all the way around, which isn't much because it's very small, so it's very hard to see where you need to go. So if you don't get it exactly through the right ones, it's not going to make a difference as long as we close up this little hole here. So like I only went through 4, and that's going to be good enough. I'm going to just close it, just give it a little tug. And then with this band, I'm going to tie into a knot. So I'll go into some bands, like, see, somewhere over here. Bring this through. So here's part of my band and here's the end of it. I'm just going to go in through this part, bring the loop, the end of the loop through itself, pull it tight, and then I'm just going to pull that into the head. without grabbing a bunch of stuffing. Alright, and so now we've got our little head done. Yay. I think the hardest part of doing Loomigurumi is actually not the crocheting itself, but for me it's attaching the body parts and everything, like to the face and the arms and legs and stuff. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. So it's really hard to specifically teach where to put something because everybody's is going to look different, and that's what's weird about like this craft, is that each one is going to be original and unique. So if yours doesn't end up turning out like mine, or like mine looks different than yours, you know, it's all going to be like that just because that's what makes it special. So we've done our head, and now we can actually start on the neck. And like I said before, the neck is connected to the body, and so the neck and the body are one piece, and the way we'll attach that is by crocheting a circle into the head, the bottom of the head, to start our neck out, and then we'll go from there and build up our neck and our body, and then we'll just have to attach our legs and tail at the end. So let's get started with that. Make sure your head is facing up. And it's important that you kind of put your stitches, well, you start your stitches in the same area that I do, only because towards the end of the body, we're going to be doing some like funky sequence so that we end up with like, you know, to shape the bottom a little bit. So if you don't place your if you don't start your round in the area that I do, then your butt is going to end up in the wrong place. So I'm actually going to start. So here's the center of your snout. I'm going to go down maybe about 3 holes, and then I'll go into a band in the head, and now I'm going to start my 12 stitch. I want 12 stitches around in the head, and we're going to do it directly in there. So what I'll do is I'll take my band and I'll bring it through, and then just make a slip knot, a loose one. Then I'm going to go over. Just trying to see. You might have to do this a couple of times to get it the way you want it. I know I had to when I first when I did my first one. So then find your next spot that you want to go, take another band, bring it through these bands only, just like you're doing a regular single crochet. Okay, find your next spot. So I'm just going all the way around. I'm just creating my own circle to be the base of the neck. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. See. Five. 6. 7. 8, here's 9, here's 10, here's 11. So I'm going to stop and count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I'll put one more in there. And 12. So then once you've got it in, just kind of try to envision what the neck is going to look like. Just make sure it's even, or as even as you can on both sides. And once you get it to where you want it to be, we can start our rounds for the neck. So we have a total of 12 stitches, and we want to just single crochet in the 12 stitches for a total of 9 rounds. So I'm going to start my first one. I'll do most of it with you because during this part you want to add your spots in. So get your spots ready, and you can just randomly add them in as you go along. So, and also make sure that you mark off which round you've finished. So let's go for the first one. So what I'm going to do is go into that first stitch. Hold on, it would be this one here. Let me make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so my first one is the one that I made a slip knot with into the head. So go in there and do your single crochet. So there's 1, 2, just go all the way around with single crochets. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then my last one here, where my C-clip is 12. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at it again just to make sure it's going to end up where I want it to be. So I'll mark off that I did 1 row, and then, so now we have 8 more rows that we want to do. So we're just going to single crochet around again. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one again. 12. So that was 2 rounds. We have 7 more to go. So again, the same thing. Single crochets all the way around. I'm really hoping that this turns out. I've had the worst time filming this one. I have no idea why. It's not like it's like a super hard design. It's just, I have no idea. Just my luck. It's like, this is my 3rd day trying to film this guy. And then I got all the way down to the body and realized that I was off in my stitch count. So I took the whole thing apart just because I wanted to make sure I didn't mess up somewhere further up. So now I'm starting to film this again. Alright, so that was 3 rounds. So I have 6 more to go. Here I'm going to start adding, I'll probably add 1 spot for now. So let me just put my C-clip back in, and then I'll show you how to add a spot. So, and where you add your spots is completely up to you. You don't have to do it the same way I'm doing it. I'm just randomly going to add them in as I go along. You just kind of want to do it like, you don't want to do your whole neck without adding spots, because you need to get in to the empty space to tie your spots on. So if you find a spot that you want to add it, you need to do it right after you finish your round, just because it will be easier for you. So I'm just going to take one and probably add it up here. So I just pulled one side through, and then I'm going to take the other side and pull that through as well to the inside of the neck. Actually, I'm going to do it. And then once you've got it placed on the neck, just go ahead and go in, and then grab your 2 ends and tie those into a knot. It's important that you don't tie your knot extremely tight, because it's going to cinch the neck and it will be kind of lumpy looking once you stuff it. So I just kind of like, I don't pull this like all the way closed while I'm tying my knot. I just kind of leave it a little bit loose, and then I tie my knot. Okay, so there's one spot. So actually, I'm just going to let you guys go ahead and finish the rounds for the neck, and remember to add your spots as you go along. So we've done 3 rounds already, and we need 6 more. So make sure you mark them off, and also make sure you're adding your spots in as you go along. And once you're done with that, meet me back here when we're finished with the neck. Alright, I'm back, and I've completed my 9 rows around. So we're finished with the neck, and hopefully we've got the same thing here. With your added spots on there in the areas that you want them. So now what we need to do is start with an increase, so that we end up with 18 stitches. And to do this, we need to do a single crochet followed by an increase, single crochet, increase. So we want to do that all the way around the 12 stitches. So we'll just follow that pattern of a single crochet and then increase. So I'll start with my single crochet. The next stitch over I'll do my increase. So there's 1, 2, and I go back to my single crochet. Just 1, then I'll do my increase. One and 2, do my single crochet, 1, do my increase, 1 and 2, do my single, 1, do my increase, go back to my single crochet, do my increase, single, and then I'll end with an increase. And then this time I'm going to double check and count and make sure that I have 18. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. All right, we're off to a good start today. Okay, so what we want to do after that is we want to make another increase so that we end up with 24 stitches. So now what we have to do is do a single crochet, and then an increase. Single crochet, increase. So 2 single crochets and then an increase all the way around so that we have 24 stitches. So here's 1, and I'll go to my next stitch and do another single crochet. Here's 2, and now I'll make my increase. So there's 1 and 2. Okay, my next one, I'm going to be doing a single crochet, and then my next stitch over will also be a single. My next stitch over will be an increase. Next one is a single. Next one is a single. Next one is an increase. The next 2 stitches will be single crochets. So there's 1, 2. My next stitch will be an increase. Two more single crochets in the next stitch, 2 stitches. So there's 1, 2. I'm going to do an increase. There's 1 and there's 2. Okay, so 2 more single crochets in the next 2 stitches. There's 1 and 2, and then my last stitch will be an increase. There's 1 and then 2. So now we should have 24 stitches. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And I think I'm going to add a spot in this area. So probably back here. We need to start stuffing soon too. All right. So the next thing that we need to do is, let's see, for 3 rounds we need to single crochet in our 24 stitches. So I'll do the first round with you and then pause the video and finish the other 2 rounds. So we're just going to go all the way around with single crochets in the 24 stitches. So just going all the way around. All right, here's my last one. So that was 1 round. So go ahead and pause the video and do 2 more rounds of the same thing with the single crochets. And if you want to add spots, go ahead and add them in there wherever you want. And I'll meet you back here when you're finished with that. All right, so I'm back with my, I finished my rounds with the 24 stitches. And now I want to start stuffing here just a little bit, just in the neck area. So grab your polyfill or whatever you're using to stuff and just start stuffing the neck. All right. So the next round that we're going to do is going to be a decrease. We want to go from 24 to 18 stitches. So in order to do that, we need to do 2 single crochets followed by a decrease. So single crochet, and then a decrease. Single crochet, decrease, all the way around, and then we'll end up with 18 stitches. So I'll start with my first one, which is a single. There's one. Then I'll go to my next stitch over and do a single, 2. Now I'm going to do my decrease. Okay, I'm going to go back to my single crochets. So there's 1 and 2. And I'm going to do a decrease. Back to my singles. So single, single, decrease, single, single, decrease, single, single, decrease, single, single, and then our last 2 stitches will be a decrease. So now we should have 18 stitches, and I'm going to count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Alright, so now here comes the fun little sequence, and I actually have it written out for you so that you can just double check that you're doing it right, just because it will be confusing to follow along just by listening to what I'm saying. So let me get my sheet of paper for that. Here's our pattern for our next round. We want to do an increase in the first stitch, and then we want to do 5 single crochets in the next 5 stitches, and then we're going to do 3 decreases, and then in the next 4 stitches we'll do single crochets, and then we'll end with 2 increases in the last 2 stitches. So I'll just keep this little paper out, you know, just in case. Okay, so our first stitch is going to be an increase. So okay, now we want to do 5 single crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to do 3 decreases. So here's 1, and another one. Here's 2, and then 1 more. There's 3. Okay. We're going to go back to our single crochets, so we're going to do 4 of those. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and we have 2 stitches left, and we want to do an increase in both of those. So I'm just putting 2 single crochets in each of the stitches that we have left. And then when we're finished with that, we should still have 18 stitches. So I have 1, 2, 3, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I'm going to add one more spot. Okay. And so we're finished with that row. The next row around is just going to be a single crochet in the 18 stitches around. So just going around with single crochets. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's add some stuffing to his body. We're almost done with this part. Then comes the fun part of attaching legs. Okay, so yeah, what that weird round did was just increase the butt area so that it comes out a little bit more than the front. Okay, so now what we need to do is a decrease to 12 stitches. So what we'll do is a single crochet followed by a decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease all the way around. So let's start with our single, Then I'm going to do a decrease. Single. Decrease. Single. Decrease. Single. Decrease. Single. Decrease. Then a single. And then I'll end with a decrease. Okay, so we should have 12 stitches now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now we're ready to close this guy off. So we're just going to go around and do 6 decreases. So I'll go into my first stitch, first 2, to do my decrease. So there's 1. And I'll go and do number 2. And we'll do number 3. Number 4. There's number 5. And then one more for number 6. Okay, now what we did with the head, let's pull through a band and make a slip knot so we can close up our little hole. And then just go around in the top loops only and bring your tying off band through. And then once you've got it through, just pull tight. And then I'll just bring this tying off band through a different set of bands. And then I'll bring it through itself. Okay, and then go in through the body and tuck in your band. All right, So I've got the majority of him done now. Looks like a giraffe duck right now, his body. Okay, so let's attach the legs. My favorite part, yay! Alright, so here we'll need our 4 legs that we have. So sew on the legs, I've decided that I want to try and use a needle. And I've used it before to sew on pieces before, and I think it's a little bit easier. So if you have a yarn needle that has a bigger hole to accommodate the bands, then I would suggest using that. However, you can still use your hook the same way that we sewed on the snout of the giraffe. So you're not limited just to the needle. You can use your hook as well. But since these are smaller, it's easier for me to use a needle. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my tying off band and add a slip knot to it just to make it a little bit longer. So I'm going to do that for each leg. Okay, now to attach it to my needle, I'm going to stick the band through my needle, just like that, and then I'll just go through and kind of slip knot it on to my needle. So I'm trying to decide if I should try to make this standing up. I really want to, because I think it would be cool if he was a standing up giraffe. So I'm going to attempt that. But if you want to make him sitting down, I'll just kind of tell you the area that I sewed on the legs. I took the 2 front legs and sewed them so they were sticking out like this. So on the front of the body, a little bit down, I put them about right here. So about one right there, and then the other one was right here, just like that. So you can sew them on that way, and then the back legs will just go on the sides towards the back of the butt, just like that. So you'd have him sitting down just like that. I don't know if you can even see that. So this is completely up to you how you want to sew on your legs. This is your choice, and I'm going to try to make him stand, and I hope it works out. So if you want to make him stand, I'm not promising you that this is going to work because these legs are pretty flimsy, so we'll see. But even if it doesn't work out, it still should be okay to make him sit down. So I'll take my leg, line it up where you want to put it. And if you're using the needle, you'll just do it the same way you would use a hook. I'll just go through the bottom loop of one of my stitches over from my tying off band, and then I'll find a place in the body that's right near it and bring it through. And I'm just going to go all the way around doing that. So I'll get my next stitch, the bottom loop, and then go through part of the body and then bring it up through. So I'll just do this all the way around. And you could actually just go around and do more, like double what you just did, just to make it a little bit more secure. So I'm going to do that just until I start running out of band. Now, if you guys are like planning on doing more Loomigurumi things, if you do make Loomigurumi quite often, I would consider getting like an invisible thread, or even just a thread that matches what you're doing. And it could be regular sewing thread, or you can even use embroidery floss. I've used that before and it works out good. You can't see it at all. So I've gone around about as many times as I can go, so I'm just going to go through another stitch just to kind of tie this off, and then I'll go back through just to create a knot. Just like that. And then I'll poke my needle through where it's coming out of, and then just bring it up through the body somewhere, and then just pull. And then I'm going to cut it. So I'll just cut, and your band should disappear into the body. So there's one leg. I'll do the other one. Yeah, see, it's kind of floppy. I don't know if it's going to work out. I might have to add some wire in there, but as you can see, it will still sit. So either way. Okay, so now I'm going to thread my needle onto my other leg. And I'll just do the same exact thing right next to this leg here. So I'm just going to go all the way around. In each stitch. And I'm just going to continue going around until I start to run out of band. Okay, and then to tie off, I'm just going to go through. If you want, you can hold on to your band that's connected to your needle or your hook, just so you know where to tie your knot. And then just bring it through. Whoops, I broke, but it's knotted, so I'll just use my hook to grab it through the body. Okay, so I've got 2 legs on. let me do the back legs. So, same process. Position it how you'd like it. Doesn't always end up in that spot anyways after you're done sewing, but now I'm going faster than I'd normally go, just for the sake of not holding you guys up for too long, for longer than necessary, but take your time while you're doing this. Because you worked hard on him and you want him to turn out nice. So okay, I'm just going to tie off here. Right, and I've got one more. Okay, I'm just going to tie this one off. This one that broke wants to come back out. Doesn't want to stay in. That's what I get for rushing. Alright, so I've got his legs on. And he's not going to stand on his own. Bummer. But he'll still sit. He's a baby, so he's learning how to walk. So now he's all sprawled out. And if you want, like on the other one, I kind of curled these up a little bit, just like that. So the hooves, the little hooves were like kind of bent a little bit. And if you want to do that, I just went in through part of the hoof on the bottom. Wait, what did I do? Yeah. Went in through some of the hoof and then some of the leg. And then just tied a slip knot with a white band or whatever body color you're using. And then I just tuck that in, and that kind of just makes it a little bit bent. I don't know if you can see that, but kind of bends his little hooves a little bit. So let's make his tail. I really wish he would have stayed, like, I really wish he could have stood. Oh well, he's still cute. Alright, so for his tail, I'm going to use the mint green again. And so I'll just take 3 of those. Oh no, I dropped my hook. Okay. I'll take 3 of the color that you want the tip of your tail to be. Wrap them around my hook once. And then I'm just going to bring up some double looped bands in the body color. So I'm using white. So I'll slide that capping band on and put that back onto my hook. And I'll do this for the length of the tail is up to you. I think I'll do 10. So there's 1, 2. Whoops. There's 3. There's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And I'll do one more. Because giraffes have kind of long tails, so 10. Right. And I'll take one band, bring it through, take it off my hook, place it where you want it to be on the butt. I'll go in through one side of the bum and bring one end in. Go on the other side. Bring the other end through. Put both ends on your hook and tie a slip knot. And then just take this band and tuck it in to the body. And there he is, little giraffe. I think this is a girl. And this is her brother, even though he's totally different colors. But I think they're really cute. Mwah. No, that's not her brother. This is his girlfriend. Mwah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed making your giraffe. I hope that you're able to follow along fine with this tutorial. I know I had some problems with it. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like very advanced or anything, but I think he's a good size. I know a lot of Loomigurumi projects will eat up your bands, especially if you're following along with a pattern that was meant for crochet. So I kept that in mind. So when I was designing this, I wanted to make him, you know, be reasonable so that you guys aren't using too many bands. And so I think he's a good size. I think he's cute. He'd make a good little, I don't know. This one kind of looks like a baby, for like a baby or something. Well, obviously not to play with because babies will eat the rubber bands, but for decoration or whatever. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and if you guys would like to see more tutorials, if you want to subscribe to my YouTube, that would be fantastic. If you're not already following me on Instagram, you can do that at christina.davis. I'm seeing so many wonderful renditions of my designs, and I'm loving it. And so I'd love to see your giraffes. I hope to see like different colors, and yeah, I would love to see like what you guys come up with. So if you want to share those with me on my Instagram, that would be super. And you can also see sneak peeks of new projects that I'm working on. And that's about it. So enjoy your giraffe and have a great day. Bye.